Welcome, everyone, to Mizpah's Becoming a Father series, part 14, Baby's First Cold, presented by the Boiling Point podcast. I am your host, JD, alongside our executive producer, Mizpah, who is the father, and that's what the series is about, following his journey as a new father. Mizpah, Baby's First Cold sounds pretty serious. How did that unfold?
Yeah, so it started out just she kind of seemed, a little more tired than usual. Like she took a longer nap during the day and went to bed early, kind of woke up late. Just didn't quite seem herself, seemed a little off. Not so much fussy, just off.
Yeah.
And then that night, she started getting stuffy and got a little bit of a cough and was sneezing and, a little more needy, a little more cuddly, a little more fussy, a little more grumpy. And, at that point, we knew she definitely had a cold. And you would think that you'd know how to handle that. But with babies, it's a little different because you can't give them cold medicine.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that they can really take.
At her age, at least. I mean, they have children's Tylenol and stuff, but even that is not for like infants and babies and stuff.
Now you can give babies. They make infant Tylenol, which I guess helps with a little bit of like nasal swelling from the pressure and stuff, but there's nothing you can really do to give them to alleviate the cold symptoms.
Was she running a fever, or was this just a mild cold, no fever?
The strange thing was she was running a fever, a very low-grade fever, like a couple days before this happened, which can happen when they're starting to cut teeth or if they're getting ready to go through a growth spurt, or sometimes they can get a low-grade fever with stuff like that. So we didn't really think much of it. So I don't know if that was coincidental or if that was part of this cold. There's no way of really saying, because she's due to soon start cutting teeth at this point.
Yeah.
She's 8 months old. So
yeah, how crazy is that?
But she can't really tell us what's wrong or what's going on other than I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And you definitely know she don't feel good.
Yeah. I imagine you guys probably didn't get sleep there for a night or two.
Yeah, she actually still has the cold.
Oh, okay.
This just started just a couple, 2-3 days ago now. And the Breeze has been actually sleeping in the living room with her, keeping her in her like swing so that she's a little bit elevated, so she's not laying flat, because when she's laying flat, she gets kind of real wheezy and rattly.
Yeah.
From the drainage.
Yeah.
So she sleeps better kind of propped up right now, which I know when I have a cold and it starts, I'm getting a lot of drainage and stuff. First thing I do is kind of prop myself up and elevate myself a little bit.
So say we all.
So
absolutely on that one. Yeah, so that's got to be difficult though. And I mean, you're working full time. The Breeze is not at full time, is she? She's not back full time.
Well, she's working full time, but she doesn't go into work.
Oh, that's what it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Home.
So,
but even that,
some days, but that's still got to be hard. Yeah, even though I forgot that she was just working from home, those aren't days off. She still has work to do. She just works from home. Yeah, that's got to still be. That's something got to be tough on her. The Breeze has got to be carrying a lot right now at the moment. Not that you're not either.
Even with her working from home, like it's not like she can be watching the baby and working.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's got to be tough.
I personally think working from home is more difficult than actually physically leaving the house to go to work, because now you're home, you feel like you should be able to take care of the baby and get your job done, and you really can't.
Yeah.
Which, that makes it just a little more of a challenge, because you feel like, while I'm home, she should be here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, and I think the worst part of it is knowing that there's really not a whole lot we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. So, like, I got a humidifier running to put a little bit of moisture in the air. There's a little bit of it's like a saline nasal spray for babies to kind of help with the nasal congestion and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just kind of
just hold her and let her cry,
loving on her and hugging her and cuddling with her and sympathizing with her, and
that's all you can do is just try and be there for her while feels miserable. That's really all you can do with a cold and the flu type thing. It's not really much you can do. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, it is, because she's crying and pouty and just grumpy and miserable, and she doesn't quite understand why she's feeling the way she is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it. And
no.
I mean, it breaks my heart. Like,
yeah,
I want to do something, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, you know me, I'm the fixer. Like, I fix things. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And this isn't something that you can just fix.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that I'm going to have to be okay with.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah. That's got to be really tough. Just not being able to do anything when she's miserable and stuff. I can't imagine. That's got to be rough.
But that's what we've been dealing with right now. And, I mean, she does have a good immune system. Babies have, like, most babies, I should say, have really strong immune systems, because they're still developing cells and developing things. So, things are a lot stronger with them. So, I'm hoping that she gets rid of it pretty quickly. And simultaneously hoping I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. She starts spreading it around the house, and then she gets better and you guys are miserable.
Yeah, that's my fear. Like, I'm going to end up getting it, and she gets the sniffle with a little bit of a cough.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the plague.
Yeah, you're going to get the plague. Yep. And then she's going to be crying, and you're going to be like, shut up, damn it, I got this from you. No, of course not. Of course not, everybody.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
So that's all. And it's going to happen at some point in this journey. That is going to happen.
Oh yeah, you guys will be trading stuff back and forth. It'll be disgusting,
especially when she starts school.
You'll be doing D&D by remote sessions for a while at some point. I guarantee it.
Because what schools are just breeding grounds for every germ known to man.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends is dealing with that, and they spent 3 months just constantly sick. It was one thing after another. First it was a cold, then it was strep, then it was
my nephew
flu, then it was
my nephew just did that during this past school year. He was sick for like 2 months. It was an ear infection, and then he had a bad cold, and then he ended up having the flu. It seemed to be one thing after another. He'd go to school for a day or 2 days, and then he'd come home sick and be out for 3 days.
Yep.
Schools are so terrible. I don't remember being as sick as it seems like it's going around in schools these days, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't remember it the right way.
The way we were outside playing in the dirt and drinking from a garden hose and, all that stuff, we had immune systems that were like the biological equivalent of nuclear bombs.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, well, now we can't play this on YouTube, but yeah, like our immune systems were so strong that a cold would come in and it was just like, nah.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll get a strike from one of your episodes. So remember, just to make sure you tune into our Rumble channel, rumble.com/c/the Boiling Point Podcast, because that is the only place you can find all of the episodes in their entirety. And that's likely going to include one of these episodes at some point. So just make sure you subscribe to our Rumble channel and follow us on there. Just giving a little plug there since you opened the door.
Yeah, well, and I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I don't live in a fairy tale land where I think she's never going to get sick.
Yeah.
But I was hoping she'd be a little bit older.
Yeah, that's not always the way it goes either.
I
But
was
yeah,
hoping she'd at least be a year old, but so far, I will say, so far, even though she's sick and miserable and very quickly tired, she still will smile and kind of laugh
yeah. Well, that's at least she's
occasionally.
not.
So
Well, then she's not so sick. At least that's good news. At least that's got to be good news. Then seeing her that she still can laugh a little bit and that she still is feeling at least a little bit good sometimes. So
yeah,
that's
and
got to be good.
so at least we have little bits of light where it's like, oh well, she's not feeling that bad.
Yeah,
But then there's moments where she's just kind of staring off like, this sucks.
yeah,
The blank stare into nothing,
yeah,
where you're just kind of doing some soul searching and praying that it goes away.
yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had food poisoning. Now I wasn't that sick where I was like, "Oh, please, I need to stop this." But it was pretty bad. I was feeling very tired, and so we're all like that when we get sick. And it's like you said, it's got to be hard for you though, because she can't tell you what's wrong or where it hurts or anything yet.
So I'm not sure which is worse, to sit there and see it happening and know there's nothing you can do about it, or to be in her place where it's happening but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, to not have the understanding.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I doubt I can answer that question for you. I don't even think I want to even attempt or speculate at that one.
Isn't that an interesting thought, though?
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. I think if it was my choice, I'd always rather be watching over the sick person than being sick myself. That's what I would choose. But then again, like I mean, I'm not a father. It's not my kid. But I mean, if you ask me about my nephew, I mean, no, I would probably be like, no, let me be sick. Let him be healthy. I'll be sick. So yeah.
Because that was actually a little conversation that me and the Breeze had is, which side of that spectrum is worse. And then, we ended up coming to a conclusion of it depends on what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if it's a cold or the flu or food
this
poisoning or
it seems like this cold. It seems like this cold, being that it seems I'm not a doctor, though I play one on TV. Not really. Seems like it's a mild cold, so it's probably worse on you this time than it is on her because you guys are stressed out. There's nothing you can do. She's feeling crappy. It's the first time,
Yeah.
So I imagine it's probably worse on you this time. But then again, we don't know how bad it is for her because she can't tell us.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely stressing out a little bit. Like, the Breeze said to me, I think she's getting a cold. Well, right away, I'm checking her temperature and
Yeah.
looking in her ears and like looking in her throat and, trying to determine how bad it is.
Yeah.
And then I'm immediately looking for like cold medicines or anything under the sun that I could possibly do to help her.
Yeah.
And I know that they don't make cold medicine for babies.
Yeah.
I know this, but I was still looking and hoping, well, maybe somebody came out with one yesterday.
Or a couple of months ago when this old cough medicine suddenly works. I missed it the first time I read through it.
So, but yeah, that, and then, once that kind of died down, I just kind of settled into, well, this sucks.
Yeah. You just got to ride it out.
And that's what we're doing.
Well, we'll definitely have to do another episode in a couple of days after she comes out the other side, so we can check and see how she's doing and how you guys are doing then. So make sure you look for this series every other Thursday. It'll air on our YouTube channel and our Rumble channel. Well, we think our YouTube channel. We currently, at the time we're filming this, we don't have any strikes. Of course, YouTube can change that. As soon as I start uploading episodes that we're behind on, they could easily just decide to start flagging episodes. So you should always follow us on Rumble, rumble.com/c/The Boiling Point Podcast. That's the only place you can find all their episodes in their entirety right now. You can look on YouTube, youtube.com/@The Boiling Point Podcast. Hit the subscribe button on both, because you never know. Follow us on Facebook. Just search The Boiling Point Podcast. You can find us. Marcus Fredrickson is going to play us out. Check him out, reverbnation.com/Marcus Fredrickson. For Mizpah, the father who we are following on his journey, I am your host, JD, and that's the end.
Good night.